So I work for BirdLife. BirdLife, it's an environmental NGO of core concern to protect birds. And as you can see, I'm quite corporate today. But besides the fact that I work for BirdLife, I'm also a mom. And I have two kids, a boy of 7 years old and a girl of 4. And yesterday evening, during the bedtime story, my boy asked me if after the ice age, the prehistoric humans, did they drown because of the ice that was melting? I explained to him that the dynamics that time were slowly enough to let humans, population, flee out of their houses. But in the same time, I was wondering and I was thinking, aren't we facing the same issue, the same situation today? Apart the fact that the climate change that we have deregulated, actually it's in an unprecedented pace. The landscape will change and will change massively. Some lands will completely disappear from the maps. And it's not going to be in the south part of the globe. It's going to be as near as in the Netherlands. And also, I couldn't help to think about myself in 2050. When I will be in my 60s, an old lady, living in cities that have become furnaces. So if we don't turn back the tide now, if we continue in a business as usual, this appalling image is going to be our hard reality. And I'm still a mom, so I have hope. I'm not hoping that the future generation will fix the mess that we have created. No, I'm really hoping that we will seize the window of opportunity today to truly transform the system, to truly implement the transformation that we need in every single sector. So the food and farming system, it's a system that also needs to do its share, because we know that this system, and it's responsible for 30% of the greenhouse gases emission. And there is also some interlinkages between production and consumption, meaning that production leads to consumption and consumption pattern steer production to a certain extent. While we are told what to buy and what to eat due to advertisement, due to marketing, I think that the middle chain actors, they need to steer the demand. And they need to steer the demand towards healthier and more plant-based products. And these products need also to be grown with nature-friendly practices. What does it mean, nature-friendly practices? It means to leave sufficiently space for nature within the farm level. It means also to reduce the nasty chemicals that we are putting in our soils and in our atmosphere. But it's not only about the private sector, it's also about the government. The governments have their responsibility, and also the policymakers. They have this responsibility, as it was said before, to create a level playing field. The most important is they have their responsibility to create and to move us collectively and progressively towards less animal protein food environments. Because this productivity race that we are all embarked in to feed more and more cows and pigs, actually, it's just eating up our planet. When we know that 77% of the agricultural land is devoted to animals, when 60% of the European grain is grown to feed cattle and to feed livestock, then we really understand that we cannot continue anymore in this path. This path is just creating the pollution that it's touching atmosphere, it's just polluting our air, but also our soil and the subsoil under our feet. So I think that we need visionary leaders and decision makers. And what does it mean, a visionary leader? It means that they will just engage in these new consumption patterns, and they will help to build new food environments. As an example, I have the Danish government. So the Danish government is the first EU member state to include in their dietary guidelines the climate concern, and they're advocating for plant-based diets. Another example coming from the private sector, it's this Babybel cheese. I don't know if you eat those. My children love them. Well, Babybel, the Bell group, their core business, of course, is dairy. But we're seeing that they are diversifying their offer and they're proposing plant-based cheese. So there are visionary leaders there. And just to finish, we as citizens, we have our lifetime opportunity next year during the European election to go and vote for those policy makers that have as a core concern to make the change happen. Thank you.